good morning. Hope you're doing well. Note that the Euro USD's got 11 score, so it's got a very good score. Hasn't really moved out the bus depot yet, so you could look for longs on the Euro USD. Also the same with dollar yen. Potentially, maybe if you felt, you know, inclined, EJ long, maybe CAD, or probably not do Kiwi because we're actually at the medium there. You don't really want to be buying anything for below that 13 row. That's the midpoint. So CAD yen probably be okay. Be careful with NJ and GJ. Um, so yeah, I mean, it might be okay. I mean, it could be a good dip buy potentially. EA, it's got a poor score. It's not a fantastic score, but we've really rallied. So you could look for a retracement there. Now, the thing I need to make you aware of is that it's opened up some dollar Swiss longs. When you can see the dollar Swiss, we shouldn't be looking for long. So I think what's probably might have happened is that we had like some kind of glitch on the code. So only open the strongest P2 if it's negative, right? So we're looking for longs on Euro USD if we're negative. We might go negative. If we are, then we'll get the buy. And then likewise, is P25 positive? Are we in positive territory on the price performance? And then, oh God. Yeah, so we're looking for sells if that goes positive. Now, it's opened at dollar Swiss. So I think perhaps what happens when we have the market open, there's quite a lot of juggling of positions, and this probably see a lot of movement at the close. So I'll be honest, I haven't really seen the effect of the market close on the QDB scores. It just filters out by macro every hour. So perhaps at the FX close every day, there's going to be it's going to be a big battle, and it looks like maybe the dollar Swiss crept up in its scores. Because it's quite possible, and if so, that's why we got the buy. So I'm probably, if I can, I'm going to stay up tonight and watch it, see what the market open and how it reacts on the QDB scores. So we're still testing, but hopefully you understand it opened dollar Swiss when it shouldn't have done, but perhaps there was just a big battle at the market open, and it did have a really good score momentarily. If it does, even for a split second, it will open because it's detecting the sell change. So I'll show you the robot. We're undergoing quite a bit of drawdown. No, not that one. Oh, here, we're here. So let me minimize that. That's confusing. So yeah, we are quite a big drawdown, like I say, and we're eating up a lot of margin. We're using up £163 of margin. So I was going to say you'd need a big account, but you don't necessarily have to, because we've got the old system in here, and I suppose really we could be getting rid of these old trades. And if we get stopped out or take profit, that's good, because we need to get rid of those old method. This is the old method where we'd simply throw signals at MetaTrader 4 and it would open, and then would hope for the retracement. Would hope for the trailing stop to kick in, and so we'll have to wait and see. So it shouldn't have opened up dollar Swiss, but perhaps there's a big battle at the open, and it just had a really good score at that time. So I'm gonna have to monitor it tonight. It's gonna be a long day if so, but that's fine. And with any luck, this retracement has the logic for the entry, and if we find that we have a big battle at the market open, we're going to have to put in some kind of condition. Don't open trade after 9 p.m. up till 1 a.m. or something like that. We'll have to look at that. So if obviously if it's going to be triggering trades when it shouldn't do, it's not such a good plan. But that's possibly what's happened. And let's tell you about the indices. Gold, well, we're currently sideways, so we made a sell because it went long, so we can draw a box. And where are we? It's always difficult to see, isn't it? So they started going long here, so we can just map a box here. or predicted there, and so that's going to be a resistance, and they'd sold it here, so that's obviously going to be a support. And now I was just saying in Discord, it's a big sandwich, and so probably look for sells up here, look for buys down there. At the moment, you know, we're probably just going to be going sideways because of the sentiment. You maybe argue if I'd like a technical break, perhaps a diagonal break, we might pump to the one above. DAX, now we should be seeing wicks below, because what's happened is that they'd sold it and they're getting paid, which is really unusual. So it's unusual for this to be so wrong. This is unusual. We should be coming up because they've sold it. All right, so note that we've got decent supports here, and they went long up here, so we can draw a box up here. You can see they've gone quite long. They've got a bit greedy, and so that's that. So that's the sell box. So that's going to be a challenge if we come up to hit that. And that's fine. See, they'd sold it, so we know this is fine. That would be an okay candle. DAX is misbehaving, which is okay. It's DAX, isn't it? It's quite tricky, quite choppy. Here, that's just a rough sort of punishment zone, but you can see how they've gone long, so price fell, and now they're selling it, so price should come up. US 30, and so it's a little bit tricky with the robot right now. So I'll stay awake tonight and see what happens at the market close, the FX close. I've got a feeling there's going to be a battle on the QDB scores, and we'll have to wait and see what happens. If it does it again, we'll have to put a condition in: don't open a trade at a certain time, and that's fine. But with the logic of the retracement, we need to have some kind of entry condition, you see. And there's the punishment zone for the Dow Jones. They might sell it. It kind of makes sense that they would. It looks quite bearish here, doesn't it? So they're just looking at recent price action. They're not looking at the trend. The trend, you could probably still argue, is still bullish. We're just retracing, you see. See how we retraced for the next move. We could be doing that again, couldn't we? So be careful. It's very tricky. You're looking at trend analysis. You know, it's quite bullish, but these retracements for the leg can be quite tricky, and it applies to currencies as well. So if you're long Aussie, we're currently undergoing a bit of retracement on Aussie, and we might prepare higher, but it's a little bit of a gamble because we don't know what they're going to do. But it makes sense that they would sell it because they're conditioned to sell it, aren't they? And they live in fear and they read news and stuff. So we'll have to see how we go. I'll report back much later about the QDB scores at the market close, and maybe it was just a one-off glitch with the dollar Swiss, but I will investigate tonight. So it's a really long day for me. That's like a 14-hour day, so I'll be in and out, but let me know if you need any help, and I'll speak to you guys soon.